Welcome back to Good Day Alabama, everyone. And Money Tuesday today, we've been talking about kind of protecting yourself from lawsuits in particular. This morning, making sure your money's going where you want it. I mean, that's the whole idea. Financial planner Stuart Welch joins us here in the studio. It's always good to see you.
Hey, Rick.
Thanks so much for being with us today. Okay, this is basically kind of getting into this thing of making planning. I mean, kind of pre-planning where money could go when you talk about leaving it to certain people in wills and things along those lines, right?
That's exactly right. But also, I think incorporating asset protection in there. This is, how do you protect yourself against lawsuits that might include a divorce, for example.
Okay, let's get started. You talk about legacy planning in particular.
Legacy planning, this is about your will. So a lot of times people will leave their assets outright to their spouse, and they just need to know that if they leave them outright to the spouse, any lawsuit that the spouse is involved in would be subject to the assets of
potentially going to go away.
That's exactly right.
It could go away.
And the second one is children. They'll leave it outright to their children, and the same thing happens there. And so the solution would be to actually, instead of leaving it outright, to leave it in a trust that has asset protection attributes.
Okay.
And then the second area is prenuptial agreements. Everybody's aware of prenuptial agreements. Most common in the area where you have a second marriage. What people don't think about is a lot of times, or sometimes, we'll do a prenup agreement where somebody may not have wealth but is going to inherit wealth. Mm-hmm. And so we're using a prenup agreement to protect that inherited wealth, or if they're going to ultimately receive a business interest.
Okay.
And then the final one is the life insurance. Life insurance, you might want to consider leaving it in an asset protection trust instead of outright to a spouse or children.
Because that's at risk too.
It is at risk. That's exactly right.
Okay, so the bottom line is you're saying look at that trust. I mean, look at setting up a trust, especially if you've got a pool of money out there that you want to give to loved ones at some point. Right?
That's exactly right, Rick.
All right, Stuart, it's always good to see you. Thanks so much for being with us today.
Thank you.
Let's check in now with Mickey Ferguson.